I have a very colorful language, and every time I went to say something, Michael would cut me off with shoot or fudge.
Oh, he doesn't like her.
Debbie Rowe was branded the woman who gave Michael Jackson children, and for decades that's all most people knew. But behind the tabloid headlines and paparazzi snapshots is a much deeper story. A story of quiet resilience, unspoken sacrifices, and a mother rediscovering herself on her own terms. What many people don't realize is that Debbie Rowe never sought fame. She didn't marry Michael Jackson for clout or cash, and she certainly didn't give birth under the flash of paparazzi lights by choice. In fact, Debbie has spent most of her life running from attention, not towards it. And in 2025, her life tells a very different story from the one the world once assumed. Born in Spokane, Washington in 1958, Debbie Rowe lived a modest, drama-free life until fate and dermatology brought her into Michael Jackson's orbit. Back in the 1980s and 90s, she worked as an assistant to Dr. Arnold Klein, a famous dermatologist in Beverly Hills. And Michael, who was battling a vitiligo and other skin issues at the time, was a frequent patient. From casual conversations grew a quiet friendship, one grounded in comfort and not spectacle. Then came the surprise. In 1998, she married the king of pop. 2 children followed in quick succession, Prince Michael Jackson in 1997 and Paris Michael Catherine Jackson in 1998. But the fairy tale ended abruptly in 1999. Just 3 years later, the marriage was over. And even now, tabloids still ask, was it love, a business arrangement, a favor for a friend? Many questions like that. Debbie, however, has mostly stayed silent on the speculation. And in rare interviews, she has simply said, he wanted to be a father. I wanted to give him that. That sentence alone fueled curiosity and shut it down. And after their divorce, Debbie gave up full custody of both children, a move that shocked the world. But to her, it was never abandonment. He was better equipped to raise them. She once said they were safer with him. It was a decision made in love, but one that came with pain, distance, and decades of public misunderstanding. For much of Prince and Paris' childhood, Debbie stayed out of sight. She didn't attend red carpets, birthday parties, or concerts. She didn't even fight for the spotlight. And for years, she didn't fight for custody either. But behind the scenes, she was watching, she was healing, she was struggling. And when Michael Jackson passed away in 2009, Debbie was devastated. And even though she didn't immediately step back into her children's life, she knew that reconnection would come on its own time. And it did, because over the past decade, her relationship with Paris Jackson has grown from distant to deeply personal. The two have been photographed together at Paris gigs, spending time in the countryside, and even sharing matching tattoos. In interviews, Paris has described their relationship as imperfect but honest. And Debbie has credited her daughter with reminding me I'm still worthy of love. As of 2016, Debbie was diagnosed with breast cancer, a battle she faced with grit and vulnerability. She quietly underwent treatment. She refused to turn it into a media circus and came out the other side changed physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. And now in 2025, Debbie Rowe is cancer-free, retired, and living a peaceful life on a small horse ranch in Palmdale, California. Surrounded by animals, nature, and a tight-knit circle of trusted friends, she's far removed from the chaos of celebrity life. And she prefers it that way. Though she occasionally visits Los Angeles, especially when Paris has shows or events, but she always returns to her quiet sanctuary in the desert hills. And these days, she's more focused on animal therapy and holistic healing practices than Hollywood headlines. As for her relationship, so what's her relationship status like in 2025? I know a lot of people will want to know her relationship status in 2025. Debbie Rowe is not married and hasn't been since her split from Michael. She was briefly engaged to a music producer, Mark Schafel, years ago, but their engagement quietly ended. And in recent interviews, she has admitted that romantic love isn't her priority, adding that the love I'm nurturing now is with myself and my family. So, and when it comes to wealth, yes, Debbie is financially secure. While she didn't walk away from her marriage with millions, she did receive a settlement, rumored to be around $8.5 million, along with a house. And since then, she has lived modestly, investing in property, animal rescue programs, and small ventures in equine therapy, and rescue farms. And as for her net worth in 2025, it is estimated to be around $25 million, most of which remains untouched. She rarely spends lavishly. She drives a simple SUV, wears little makeup. Her lifestyle is minimalist and deeply intentional. As of controversies, Debbie has largely avoided the chaos of celebrity scandal, but she's been the subject of persistent media curiosities, especially when it comes to questions like, did she really give up her kids willingly? Yes, and she has explained her reasons openly. Does she regret the marriage to Michael? No, she once said it. He gave me 2 beautiful children. How could I regret that? And was she just a surrogate? That's a claim she has always rejected, saying, I was a wife, I was their mother, I still am. And while gossip blogs still try to dig up new dirt, Debbie keeps her boundaries strong. She's not on social media. She doesn't grant interviews. She lets Paris speak when she wants to and otherwise stays in the background just as she always intended. So Debbie Rowe in 2025 isn't chasing vindication or sympathy. She's just living. She's a mother who made impossible choices, a woman who watched the world write her story without ever asking her to hold the pen. And now, decades later, she's reclaiming her peace, not with drama, but with quiet strength. And you might think you know who Debbie Rowe is, but the truth is, you probably never really did.